Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter today. Today we are talking about creating individuals from the donations module. So we do have scenarios where in Church Windows you have a user that can access donations, but they can't get into membership. And it's designed that way on purpose, or to have that ability to keep different people out of different modules. So this webinar is going to walk you through in the donations module how you can create donations givers, donations groups givers, and also create a membership person on the donations side of things. And there's a couple different areas in the program that you can add a new individual or a new person. But what I first want to cover here is in Manage Givers, the different types of givers that you can have. So you can see easily here in Manage Givers, looking at this mem/known giver column. This is a really easy, fast way for you to see what type of giver someone is. So let's look at Nina here first. If we look at this column for Nina, it says MEM, M-E-M. So that tells us that this version or this record for Nina is being pulled from the membership module. So she was originally entered in membership, and then her information then carries over into donations as a giver. Now she also has a V after her last name. That V tells us that Nina is in the membership module, but her family's category is V for visitor. Okay. Same thing for Carolyn here. But now if we come down to Jack, you can see Jack has D-O-N. This means he only exists in the donations module. So if we go over to membership and we search for Jack, he is not going to exist over there. And he also has a D after his last name, which indicates he's a donations giver as well. Okay, so it's really important to understand the different types of givers before you start entering givers into donations. Okay, so let's go up here up at the top, click on givers, and then we have an add individual and an add group. So let's go ahead and click add individual, and it's going to give us two options here. It's going to give us a donations individual giver and a membership individual. If we choose to add a donations individual giver, this record is only going to show up on the donations side, okay? Call those a donations giver. Now, if we choose this add membership individual option, this is going to pull up membership screens, okay? So you can, while in donations, create an individual that exists in membership, okay? And if they exist in membership, their name and information carries over into donations for you to be able to put a donation on them, all right? So you have to kind of decide for your church how you want to handle new givers. So if you're entering a brand new person, they made a donation, you don't know who they are, you don't know if they're going to come back, no idea, then I would recommend using them or adding them as a membership individual, and then under family category, choosing a visitor option. That's going to allow you to get them over in membership, but still have them as a visitor so they don't show up as a member. And again, every church, every organization has the option to customize this differently. So if this isn't the way your church does it and you have a practice that works for you, that's fine. This is just simply what I would recommend based on my years here at Church Windows and the different churches and organizations that I talk to. Okay, so we're going to choose visitor, mailing label. We'll put like Mrs. Rachel Klein. And then if you know the address, you can hit the plus sign and put the address in. You don't have to. You might not know it at the time. Same with the phone, mailing code, geographic area, and comments. If you know what that information is, of course, put it in. If you don't, skip over it. All you need to fill in is the family category and the mailing label. Then it'll let you forward, okay? can always come back to their record and membership, or if you don't work in membership, let whomever does the membership side of things know, hey, I made this new person. I don't have any of their contact information, and well, if you can figure that out and fill that in, that would be great, or something like that, okay? Over here on the right, this is where you put your individual's information. So here's the family. We're building the house over here, and then we're going to fill in the individual's information. You do need a first name, you do need a last name, and you do need to fill in the directory report order so the program knows who they are within the family. That's all you need, and that might be all you know at this point in time. Okay, so you can say add this individual and close, or you can say add another individual. So if you know that Rachel's married to Mitch, you can hit add another individual and you can put Mitch in, and that will create the family record and then the two individuals for them as well. Okay, super simple. So that's going to get that record over in membership, and it's going to then carry over here into donations. Here I am right here with my V, with my member from the membership module, okay? Now, let's say we want to add an individual as a donations individual giver. Let's say we know this person came for a memorial. We know they have a church family. We know they're not going to be joining the church. We've no need to put them over in membership. We just need to get their gift entered. If that's the case, you can do that here under donations individual giver. Don't need to put in a giver number if you don't want to. Those are optional. You do need a first and last name. Title, suffix, nickname, don't have them. That's fine. Comments, that's just an open character field. Feel free to type in whatever you want. If you have their address, hit the plus sign to put that in. Phone and email options as well. Hit add giver. Add another person if you need to, but then once you're done, just hit finished adding givers and that screen will close. Now, if we go back into manage givers, we now have Mitch Klein in the list, and you can see he has a D because he's a donations giver, and then in this column he has DON, which tells us he only exists, or this record exists only in donations. Okay? All right, let's close this, and back up to the top under givers, there's this add group option. This add group option can be used when you're entering a donation for a group, okay? Pretty straightforward, whether that's a business, maybe a business has made a donation, maybe you've received money from an organization, another church, or you want to put in a couple's name together. Again, you don't have to use the giver number. Enter in the name of the couple or whomever gave the donation. Hit the plus to add an address, phone number, email. You may put those in if you wish. Add the group. Finish. So now if we go into Manage Givers, we have to go to this Families and Groups tab. And there is Bob and Sally Smith. Here's their D that tells us they're a donations giver, and then here tells us that they are in the donations module. Okay, pretty straightforward. The biggest hurdle is going to be figuring out what type of giver you want to put this person in as, whether you want to see him over in membership and donations, or you just want to see him in donations. Right? There are several places you can add givers on the fly here in the donations module. So you don't just have to go up to givers and hit one of these plus signs. You have a green plus sign here in Manage Givers. If you click that, you're going to get the same options you would up at the Add Individual at the top. Here's your membership individual or your donations individual. If you go to the Families and Groups tab and hit the plus, you're just going to have that one option to add a donations group giver. Okay. Entering donations. This is really handy. If you're working on a batch for your Sunday offering and you start to type someone's name in and they're not in here, there's no option to select them. You can come right here to the right, hit the little green plus sign, and choose of your three options what type of giver you want this to be. And that's going to open up that screen for you. Simply put in the name or the names that you know. Don't have to fill in anything else. Just say add giver, finished. And now we can see that giver's in here, and we have the D, which tells us they're a donations giver, and you can go through and continue entering your donations. Okay. So most places that you have a giver search box or a screen where you can pick someone, you're going to have a little green plus sign, and you're going to have the ability to add someone on the fly. Now, typically when people are adding givers, it's going to be within the enter donation screen when they type in a name and they don't appear. Or you can always come up to the top and use the plus signs up here as well. Okay. Pretty short and sweet. That's everything that I needed to go over with you guys today.